honor guests and new members. Mecca, the religious proposal or project, it's a proposal. Let me set the stage for you. I was hired as an expert witness, being my background is architectural, as well as I'm on the plan commission, so I have a little land planning background too. I've been on the plan commission for 20 years. So this was a proposal that was down in Burr Ridge off of 91st Street, less than 5 acres. They wanted to put a 73,000 square foot building. It's a Mecca religious institution for 600 people. It has a school and then also a gymnasium slash, I guess you'd say, banquet facility on the bottom. So the way they positioned their proposal, the parking would handle the Mecca part, the 600 people, nothing else could happen. But there's three basic issues here. There's traffic, stormwater, and then there's the building mass. And I basically was speaking on behalf of the building mass, although I touched on, stormwater issue as well as traffic, because egress and ingress of fire engines and emergency vehicles is very important. And having my experience on the plan commission as an architect, knowing how the fire engine was supposed to circulate around the site, it just wasn't there. So this was at a DuPage County hearing. It was in an area where it was like the cafeteria, set up with chairs. And there were probably 100 and 150 people there. And it was basically set up like an attorney, questioning, type of thing, back and forth. And of course, my attorney that I was speaking about before, was asking me questions and everything. But what was interesting about the whole thing is the petitioner's attorney was kind of in the background making comments and stuff, which I found a very unethical. While you're giving a presentation, you have comments made. So basically, I got up there and spoke. She asked me questions. The building was just too big for the site. It was under 5 acres. They couldn't even get the stormwater detention on site. They had to have buried vaults, concrete vaults that basically held the stormwater. And when you do that, you know that the site is too big, or I said it's too small for stormwater. And they had flooding issues off in the nearby residential areas. So they already had to mitigate some stormwater issues there. And this is unincorporated DuPage County. So I spoke on that, although the attorney came back and when he questioned me was, well, are you a civil engineer? And I said, well, no, I'm an architect. And of course he goes, how can you speak as an expert witness on that? And I said, well, basically that I have experience on the plan commission listening to other testimony and this my work I do working with engineers. I just know how stormwater works. I don't have to know how to calculate it, but I know the philosophy and the concept of stormwater, getting it off site, storing it, and then letting it dissipate over a 24-hour period. And then you have traffic issues, like I spoke about, emergency vehicles getting on and off site. This is a road that was no curbs. You couldn't park on the road without being a hazard for vehicles getting through. It was off of 91st Street. It's 91st Street, but it's off of 83. But still, you have this congestion. You have an unincorporated residential area. And then this down the street, you have this elementary school. So you're going to have, and during the day when they have their religious, it's not just a Sunday event, it's an everyday event. And then you got to basically deal with the traffic. And the residents were concerned about the traffic overflowing into their residential area, parking on the street causing an issue with the emergency vehicles getting through. So we talked about the building mass, traffic, and stormwater. So those were basically the three issues that I had spoke about. And what was interesting, I mean, this thing went on and on, and it kept getting continued. But I know now, I can tell you that there was a vote 5-2 in denial of this petition. It has to go before the board of DuPage County Board, but you know, who knows? They could overrule it, maybe not. But the main thing is that they did see it our way, and that it was just too big for the site. Mr. Toastmaster.